Friend of mine, the annoying atheist. I am Kage, also known as the annoying atheist. I have with me lovely atheist Catherine, and we're going
Hello.
to continue a bit here where we left off on Wednesday. And some of the claims to fame of one Dr. Mercola, who for the last 19 years and some has been pushing a bunch of shit and buying $6 million houses with 5,300 feet worth of floor space. Okay, so today we're going to do things a little differently than we have the last few times. We have again, like our first couple of videos, we have an actual blog post here that we're going to do some stuff with here. This one includes a video, and we're going to go through it in its entirety here in a couple of minutes. Okay, but first I want to give you some background. Okay, Dr. Mercola is at this point in this particular article hawking a book by a friend of his by the name of Claire Robinson. She is the editor of GM Watch, which is based in the UK. She worked with a couple of genetic engineers, John Fagan and Michael Antonio, and co-authored a book called GMO Myths and Truths, which is apparently, he says, is a very important resource. Okay, now he leaves a link here, and I actually went and hunted down this book myself on Amazon. Actually, 3 Brits. Well, no, I can't call him an asshole. That I actually would wind up insulting my own for that. Oh yes, we're talking Andrew Wakefield bad here, Mello. Okay, here we go. You can buy it new from Amazon.com for $11.89, whatever that comes out to pounds in British pounds. I don't actually know. Note that this nice lady is a master's of philosophy. I'm not sure about that one. This guy here is a PhD, and that guy's a PhD. This one here has a master's of philosophy. I'm not sure just exactly what she thinks she's up to, but she works for this joint. And you can already tell her bias just by the logo on the label. Look, there's little dollar signs in it. I wonder what their bias might be. Oh, do they? Maybe they don't have a bias. Yes, they do.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually gonna swipe that because that's actually I can edit that and make something really hilarious out of it later. It's £8.14. Mello says, if you want my opinion, take a £10 note out of your wallet, set it on fire, and you'll get more entertainment out of it. That's pretty much where I'm at with that. You probably get a lot more factual information too. Now, here is Miss. She is on the board of advisors for GMO Free USA, Food Transparency, Food Justice. Okay. Claire Robinson, Masters of Philosophy, is an editor at GM Watch, a news and public information service on issues relating to genetic modification. She was formerly the research director at a sustainability nonprofit, Earth Open Source, and is co-author of the book GMO Myths and Truths. She has a background in research, writing, and the communication of topics, public health, science, and policy, and the environment. You like my quack? You like the cracker squirrel? Still not quite sure what they. Yeah. Let's see. You can shop their store, of course. Support GMO Free USA by shopping in our store or with our affiliates, and there's their affiliate links. Lapel Pin Planet, ooh, U.S. Wellness Meats, Our animals eat right, so you can too. Well, guess what? At least they're willing to admit that we have to eat the animals. Okay. So, Dr. Mercola has loads of really lovely things to say about this person.
Okay.
Apparently, she's been at this since 1999. And she says her initial concerns were not incited by environmental groups, but rather by scientists. They, you know, genetic engineers in the 1990s warning about possible effects of health and the environment of genetically modified foods. At the time, I just didn't want to think about it because there were too many other things to worry about. But it became increasingly urgent that we do something, because before we knew it, there was talk about Monsanto wanting to genetically engineer every food crop on the planet. And I thought, this is something we should be concerned about. Why? Because Monsanto? Is that kind of where we're at here? Because it's Monsanto? It's kind of where that's actually what I'm thinking they mean. There's a corporation that's interested in doing this on large commercial scales. Why does that scare me? Because it's a corporation, you dipshit.
Yeah.
They are by their nature amoral entities. They do what's best for they will do what is best for the survival of their bottom line, rather
So
than
we
what
will
you
talk
think is
about
necessarily
this.
good for you.
Yes. And then
But
let's talk about this on the video.
and this goes deeper because, of course, the average conspirator seems to think that Monsanto is out to control the world. Well, guess what?
Exactly.
That's kind of bullshit. I'm pretty sure Monsanto has to answer to the same governmental authorities everybody else. And even if they didn't, if they start producing things that kill people, then they don't stay in business, do they? Oh, so that she starts working about that she's worried about that she starts playing the conspiracy card before she even gets anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Suggests that suggests where her biases begin and end. The scientific voices did not die away. Well, no, generally scientific voices don't die away unless the evidence is completely overwhelming on one side or the other. That's why there's not a whole huge debate on evolution in the scientific in the academic arena, at least not the proper one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they were still warning about possible effects of these foods. Well, yes, and they get very thoroughly tested, I expect, because again, if a company like Monsanto puts out something that's going to fucking kill you, then they wind up being out of business, and that's not good either. They don't want that. They really don't want to go out of business because they put out a product that 5 years down the line winds up killing 2/3 of the population. That doesn't work in their favor. You know,
No.
if by some chance enough enough of Monsanto's employees who are eating the same shit are eating the same stuff, if even if enough of them survive to keep the company going, you still wind up with a huge loss in sales, just on basic attitude problems, and compounded by the loss of population. So guess what? It's just uh, Mellows over here having a rant. You bruise easily. Conspiracy. Government programmed everybody when they were born to hurt more than they do. They're hiding stuff from us. Clearly, we're the only ones that can see this. Said nobody intelligent ever.
Yeah.
Many GMO proponents claim that genetic engineering is just an extension of natural breeding methods and is just as safe. You know what? I I don't know of anybody that's ever actually made that claim, GMO proponents. Natural selection, natural or even artificial selection, we've been using for for more than 10,000 years now, since the dawn of agriculture, and actually even before that, because we were in the process of domesticating dogs earlier than that. And usually, when you deal in GMOs, you've got you're inserting a gene from one type of plant into this new plant to make it resistant to a particular disease or a fungus or something else, or even for different strains of the same plants, to try and increase yields and crop sizes and all that other sort of crap. And
It's
honestly, without
funny.
some,
I don't see lots of people complaining when they eat a nectarine.
yeah, and those weren't the original object either. Um,
Yeah, it's not a natural fruit.
yeah, we actually, it was actually made. They selectively bred it to do
Yeah,
that. The same thing with a modern orange and navel oranges and
yeah.
all that kind of thing. Um, Possibility that some of it could be dangerous. However,
And the funny thing that they are organically grown.
and then this gets better because they do extensive testing, but again, like with a vaccine or any other sort of medication, anytime you change biochemistry in some significant way, it entails a small amount of risk, usually minuscule, and 99.8% of the time, because I know that's going to be wrong. Much of the time, any testing that goes on before these products go to market will usually reveal if something's going to be completely detrimental to our life form. Um, they say, these GMOs are making us sicker. They don't actually have evidence of this. You'll see that here in a minute. Um,
They
we're actually going
cannot possibly be released if there is an indication that they are lethal or they are carcinogenic or something like that. And if even after they are released, there is something tiny little less than 1%, they are recalled like anything.
and
It
usually the
happens.
people that have put effort into raising these crops are properly compensated for that. All
Yes, there
assertions,
is a
no
huge
evidence.
compensation, like for example, a drug that is released and and shit happens with this drug even after all the trials and the approval by the FDA and such, and shit happens. The drug is recalled, and then there are heavy lawsuits and compensations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we have they. Let's see. Alas, even genome editing techniques such as CRISPR create off-target effects, according to Robinson. So we're still far from knowing all there is to know about genetic manipulation. Well, duh. I mean, we haven't exactly been. It's not like we've been doing direct genetic manipulation of things for 4 or 5 thousand years or something, and it doesn't really matter. We're not going to know everything. It's not possible to know everything in a scientific sense. It's just not. And science never claims to know it all. Okay, science has yet to claim that they know everything, that it knows everything. It's firmly of the belief, and this is a necessary assumption, that that the universe can in fact be comprehended in this way, but there is no claim that everything is that things are 100%. Okay, only by means of direct observation can we say with any certainty that a thing is a thing? For example, we can say with all certainty that the Earth is a ball. It is an oblate spheroid that spins around an axis once every 24 hours, and then it goes around the sun once a year. Because we can actually get people out there and look back and see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At the same time, we can't necessarily say that star X out there is exactly like this because we haven't actually gone out there and taken samples. But if the information we get from our own star, which we have done detailed scans of, is any indication, and if all the other evidence we've ever collected holds true for any other for other places, we can say with to an extreme certainty what that star is and what it's going to be made of, and even what the size of the star and the mass is to be at. Okay. Now, Mello says the reason people don't believe these idiotic conspiracy theories is because there's always some sort of logical reasoning behind it. And science is also the reason that he's an atheist. Um, the problem here is that for every skeptic, there's probably 100 idiots. And the idiotic conspiracy theories, they kind of resonate with some people, and these people spread them. And this other person here who is otherwise skeptical, trusts this person over here, the idiot, implicitly, and says, "Well, okay, maybe the idiot's onto something. Maybe I should go check it out." And then they go
Yeah,
and they look at the sources that the idiot's giving and don't necessarily look at the rest of it, and then and all of a sudden a skeptic turns into an idiot.
yeah, because usually the skeptic is an anonymous person, and Dr. Mercola is a famous person, even though he's a quack.
Yes, conspiracy. Yeah, government is doing it because they're the government. Conspiracy theorists everywhere. There is no reason. There are lots and lots and lots of reasons to not kill everybody. Okay,
The
or even
government is not out there to kill people because people pay taxes.
yeah, they pay taxes. They spend money in their economies. If it's all about the money, people don't spend money if they're dead. That's kind of the rule.
Exactly, exactly.
Their
So,
survivors might, but they won't. Now,
yeah,
I have taken I've taken the liberty of going on to grabbing the video, a link to the video from Dr. Mercola's little blog post, and we're gonna have a look. And I'm gonna pump up the volume here so you guys can hear it. Okay, that should be more than loud enough. Zemorf, I'm an atheist, yes. I am also a skeptic. I can and will look at whatever evidence they choose to present, and if I don't find it compelling, then I'm not gonna find it compelling. You have to have a certain level of evidence before you can even approach changing my mind. It's entirely possible to do that. I'm not automatically credible. I don't have an education in this shit, and eventually the guy that I invited that does know this shit will turn up. I'm hoping. Okay. So let's move on here. Can you guys hear it?
no.
Are you guys getting the audio?
No.
Not hearing the audio. Give me a second here. Let me see what I can do about that. All right, let's try that again. Make sure we're all maxed out over here. Let me know if you guys are getting the audio.
Effectively, the GM was and wasn't.
Was and wasn't. Okay, that's not a good thing either. I should actually just be picking it up. Apparently, YouTube, the U of Tube is not doing very well with this. All right, let me see if I can. Hang on. Let me see what I got here, because I'm pretty sure I can get this working. Way. Let's try that. Can you guys still hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Start the video.
Patience. Yes, yes, no, no.
Hearing. Okay.
Now I'm hearing you.
Well, I put the microphone directly on top of the on top of the speaker here. It looks like Google Plus is actually actively trying to kill the desktop audio.
I continue hearing you.
Yeah, that's because I'm not actually running the video at the moment. Hang on. Come on. Yeah, that's not working. Gotta be a reason for this. Come on. Come on. Apparently, my special presentation is not flying very well today. Got it. Come on. This should just be working, and it's somehow not. Let me swap a thing out here. I think I might be able to get a little bit more volume out of this. I just have to find the right. I just have to find the right thing. Give me a second here. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties happen, just like shit.
My headphones aren't cutting it. That's kind of my problem. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this the other way.
Mello says just link the video in desk and we'll watch along with you.
I can actually do that here. Hang on. Okay.
Did you put the correct link?
What? Yeah, that's the link to the video itself.
Okay.
That's the thing I'm looking at. All right, let's see if we can make this happen. What?
Now I'm not hearing you, dude.
You're not hearing me either?
Now I'm hearing you. Thank you.
Because I was actually being quiet while the video was running. I actually switched microphones to the one that's sitting pretty much on top of the damn speaker and still not catching. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Because this technique should have worked. It often does. Let me just. All right, I'm gonna let this run here for a couple minutes while I get something out here.
Jesus Christ, mute your video.
Now, how do I you know what? You just made a bald-faced claim here, Mr. Mercola, and I'm going to have to beat on you for a second here. Okay. We actually have a link from another individual involving the state of Vermont here just recently. Okay. Another not-so-sweet victory for the anti-GMO movement, which actually has to do with a thing that went on. You're not getting any of it. All right, hang on. Let me hook the damn microphone back in here. Apparently, it's better quality. Okay, now, Mr. Mercola, here's the deal. You just made a claim wherein I can declare bullshit. Most of the sugar supply in the U.S. and actually the bulk of it from Europe comes from a thing called a sugar beet. It's a nifty little plant. Hopefully, you guys have got your paint thinner and your favorite paint thinner. I've got some Scoresby's here, some nice scotch. And your oven mitt's ready because this is actually going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Okay. Now, here we're starting to see, after Vermont passed its little rule about labeling GMOs, because people don't want to buy GMOs. I don't know why. Oh, because they're bad for you. You can't actually. First off, Miss Doctor, you haven't managed. You just made a claim. You presented no evidence. And when you present evidence, then I'll be more than happy to look at it. But I haven't seen any, and I've been wandering through your site for over a week now.
Yeah, the video starts with Dr. Mercola interviewing this woman that has no absolutely formal education in any branch of biology, medicine, or any branch of science that deals with genetics. Her education is in the branch of philosophy.
She has a master's of philosophy and specializes in education and public and making public awareness speeches.
Yes. So he starts the video with the claim: we all know that the GMO crops are not good for us or the environment. We all know who. And how do we know that they are not good for us or to the environment?
Okay, first off, not good for the environment. Well, guess what? Sugar beets, most of which are GMO these days, have much smaller environmental impact than sugar cane, which is known to be very, very, very expensive in terms of its survival requirements. This is a known thing. And actually, I'm going to give you guys the link for this particular blog entry. Not that I'm going to give it by itself as evidence. It was actually posted by a lovely man in a collection, and he is Paul T. Morrison. That guy has credentials. Okay, credentials here. He works at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston and has a University of Massachusetts Amherst education. Okay. His number of views and followers, I don't really care. That's an argumentum ad populum. However, I can appeal to this. I can actually find some to appeal to his authority in the matter.
He hails from Harvard University.
This
Look,
his okay.
look his about section.
Look at his about. Okay, okay, okay.
Employment.
Employment. Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Boston, Massachusetts, United States. He is the director of molecular biology core facilities currently. Okay. Harvard Medical School, principal associate in biological chemistry and molecular pharmacology, and he's still working there. His own biotech consultant firm. He's the president. Okay, fine. Harvard University, director, molecular biology and genomics core facility, present. He's associate director for blast proteomics. He's got, and these are places that have been verified. Okay. Look, an actual Harvard email address. Wow, what a concept. Oh, here we go. And the Harvard directory. That will have his education. That will be a clear source of his come on. There you go. See, there we go. Here he is. Other current positions. Okay. His research resources, other websites. Oh, look, publications. Let's see, where is he here? There he is, down the bottom there. There he is as in fourth authorship back in 2004. Here he is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2002. He's been working with some of the same people for quite a while now. Here he is as third author on a paper. There he is, about 6th down the line. Here's one by himself. Journal of Biomolecular Techniques. I've actually heard of this. I've actually heard of that one. Okay, snapshot of the 10th International Genome Sequencing and Analysis Conference. There's Mr. Morrison again. This time he is last author, which means he was the one for this paper. He's the one to contact.
He was beginning his career. Look at the date.
Yeah, well, that was 1996. We've got some more back here a ways. Here he is, his first author, 2 more papers. Physicians and Computers. Molecular analysis of E. coli, REC-O gene in the Journal of Bacteriology back in 1989. Here he is, a second author. Another one, second author. Another one, second author. Okay. So at this with as many jobs as he's got running right now, all of these, and he's actually an associate editor of the Journal of Biomolecular Techniques. So, and then he's got his own lab. So you're looking at well, okay, his career hasn't exactly been stellar, but he's been quite busy, and he's keeping his hand in, and he wouldn't actually unless he had a PhD, he wouldn't be listening to any of these things. So, yeah. Okay. Yes, his Google profile image has him with a syringe molesting a rubber ducky because some people might find that funny. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Okay.
Well, I'm a linguist, and my Google profile is Miss Kitty, my cat.
I'm an,
She certainly doesn't work for me. It's quite the opposite. I perform slave labor for her and Mr. Spock.
you know
So
what? I am an atheist and general debunking debate specialist. What am I using? A crocodile squirrel. I like the crocodile squirrel though. You don't mess with the crocodile squirrel. Okay, but again, I don't. I'm not exactly. I'm not. We have enough. We have enough information here to suggest that he does have some knowledge of what's going on. Okay, so and really, what we're doing is we're taking a. He has a collection of posts. Um, most of which doesn't make any real scientific claims. Crockett squirrel is awesome. Yes, we love the crockett squirrel. I must thank 13 Heathens for this again because now I'm going to trademark his ass because that'll be fun. Yes, the poor rubber ducky. Okay. He has a collection. Of posts that he's been looking that where he's been looking around on dangerous new viral outbreak, Zika conspiracy theories about genetically modified mosquitoes. Um, he's more or less I'm considering him more or less a news source. I'm not going to accept what he says as gospel, if only because we have so he's got enough information. He knows enough, I think, to be worthwhile as a point of reference, and maybe a limited amount of backup. But again, one voice isn't sufficient when you're actually dealing with evidence. But these are definitely some very good jumping off points. Anyway, link to the collection, which lovely atheist Catherine was kind enough to put up there, or was to give me here for a little bit ago. Richard was here a moment ago. He may or may not have passed out on us. We did actually get started a little late. I do apologize once again. We were hoping our resident expert from Aussie land would show up, but apparently he's having a lie-in. So he'll turn up eventually or not if we end this thing before then. Oh, good. Richard is still awake. Hey, Raven. Welcome to the chat.
hello, Raven.
We love the Ravens. Okay. So, Dr. Mercola is going to hop to and make some more claims here in a moment. And I really wish I could feed the audio directly into somehow to feed the audio directly in, but apparently it's not good. Apparently it doesn't want to cooperate. I've got everything turned up to the max at the moment, and you guys are only hearing 1 word in 6, which is not cool. All right, moving on. Who of GM He's about to bring her on and declare that he's going to have some fun interviewing her. Okay, now he says that they can answer the question, that she's going to help answer that question.
So Claire Robinson starts her answer to the crops not being good for us or the environment. She says the important thing when you genetically engineer a plant is the new context of the new gene you put again. Wow.
With which she kind of has a point, but that's why they do all of the testing they do to make sure they're not
Yeah.
going to kill the fucking customer.
And then she says that the mere process of reinserting the gene will damage the genome.
Okay, but again, can't prove that, can you?
No.
Um,
And it produces different nutrients and or is less nutritious.
yeah, I don't. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, she's touting her master's in philosophy, and of course we've already looked at GM Watch. We will probably bring GM Watch up again later and do a detailed dig through their website another week, some other week. But this is who she is. I don't know where she got that nose. Whoever it is that had that nose should probably be embarrassed for themselves. Yes, I'm being rude. Um, dangerous new viral outbreak, Zika conspiracy theories. Yeah. And actually, this is the fun. This is the fun. This is the most fun that I've had with a guard with a thing with a article from the Guardian in recent years, and it goes back to something I said earlier. Conspiracy theories are not unlike viruses. Mostly they circulate harmlessly on the fringes of society. Yet every now and then, a mutation for increased transmissibility can lead to a mainstream outbreak with seriously damaging consequences in the real world. Okay. Okay. Silly Lady's book. Of course, Silly Lady's book has a baby on the front because won't somebody please think of the children, Maud Flanders?
Yes,
Anybody
Monsanto's
remembers
killing the
Maud Flanders?
children. Think of the children.
Of course, think of the children, especially after Homer jumps up and throws her over the side of the of the local sports stadium. Not on purpose, by accident, but still. Okay. Okay. Dr. Mercola, of course, is taking control of your health. Take control of your health. This is better than rubber ducky. What is better than rubber ducky? Are you talking about the front cover of her book? Or what are you talking about there, Mello? I don't. Come on. Uh-oh. He found the best thing on the guy's profile. He put an image. We need a little bit more than that today. Come on.
You can post this link about so the
Well,
people understand.
he can't actually post links. He doesn't have mods. He doesn't have a chat. He doesn't have chat mod. Come on.
Can you post this link for the people on the chat?
Oh, that. Oh, is that what we were? What am I
No,
looking?
this is our concern for the children about her book.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
here
her
we go.
book. This is her book concerned about the children.
That was just Mo. We should have one for Maud too, but he put an image of a text talk of a bit of text talking about seagull shit. Okay then, right on. All right. Let's see.
He looks so creepy. Uh, and at 12, can you jump to 12:21?
Yep. Okay. At let's go to
and
208.
and he likes to, Dr. Mercola prefers to refer to genetic modified organism as genetic mutants. It's his coined expression. He calls them genetic mutants.
Depends on the background genetics of the crop.
Yeah. If you go to 12:21.
Okay. She was just talking about a thing called yield drag. In the apparently the GMO stuff doesn't have as much energy as as the original.
This one is on 20.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let me listen to this because you actually saw bits of this and I didn't. So
Yes. Uh, but I need to hear that. Wait, hold on.
I can't turn anything up any louder than I have.
Hold on.
Okay, Mello, can we get back on topic, please?
I'm getting the.
I got this guy as a source from yeah, pesticide conspiracy. No, it's all right. It's all right, Mello. It's just you'll have plenty of time later to go to go giggle at him, and you can pick on him some more at the games roundup later tonight.
No. Okay. I know where I have to go.
What? Oh, you're looking at things. Okay.
I was looking where, at what minute I have to go.
I think the pesticide time since this is 1609.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to do this bit right here.
Yes. Yeah.
We're talking about glyphosate. Now, the claim he's talking about is through use of GMOs, you're able to reduce the number of herbicides and pesticides being used. This is to a large degree true. If you can get something that is genetically modified to resist certain things, then you only have to use herbicides for the rest of the stuff and pesticides and stuff.
So she said that we have sprayed 7% more pesticides than we would have done if the same acres have been
Planted with non-GMO crops.
so we are using uh, for how many billion more?
Oh, he's talking about 10 billion tons, 10 million
Yeah,
tons in the U.S. alone, and 20 million worldwide. But he doesn't give us any point of reference,
no reference, no evidence.
and he makes the insistence at this point that this thing is bad without giving us any evidence of any kind that it actually is.
4 million pounds of extra, 404 million pounds of extra pesticide because of GMO.
But again, what are we using? What are we using? Are we using things that are going to be less, or that are going to be, less toxic, maybe, or maybe more toxic?
No,
Because
she says that it's an evolutionary process because they become more resistant to pesticides because they are genetically modified.
okay,
No evidence provided.
okay. We don't have we only have a couple more bits here for this one. So we're gonna pop around a little bit more here. What's probably gonna happen is that I'm gonna drag
And then
MMA
she
artist
goes
141.
that to the conspiracy of the fact that they are patented, and then uh, uh, because you own the rights on that particular crop, and you also own the breeding rights. So every crop that is bred from the GMO crop, uh, you own the progeny, whether the original crop is the great means of consolidating control over the food supply. So big companies. So, and Dr. Mercola intervenes and says that the rational response is to confuse consumers, and it will be, why doesn't the government protect us?
Wait. So what's going to happen? I'm going to hang this video for right now since we're not actually getting anywhere with it.
Mm-hmm.
We can't run the
Okay.
audio. So what I'm going to do is the next time I see MMA, I'm going to grab him by the hair and drag him into TeamSpeak or something, and we're going to do a little watch podcast so that I can actually.
And that the the States Department of Agriculture is complicit, and it is in practical reality. The United States Agriculture Department is now near an extension of Monsanto and
Well,
these other chemical giants that implements and enforces their recommendations.
and here is the other side of that. Well, I don't know if this is necessarily the other side of it, but there's more to it than that, really. they actually provide no evidence for their claims. In fact, the nice lady here during the video declares that she can't provide any evidence. She can't provide any evidence because the studies don't. That she will not cite any studies that will support her. She says that the entire situation is too confused for evidence to really come to light.
So everything that was said by both parties, Dr. Mercola and this lady, what's her name, Claire Robinson, was discussed with absolutely no reference provided, no citation, no evidence, no science involved, only their personal bias and opinions.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag MMA and Catherine into Skype or TeamSpeak or something, and we're all going to sit down. We're going to give this video a complete watch, and I'll do a straight record.
Okay.
I don't know if you've got a Skype account or not, Catherine.
I do.
Huh?
I do.
Okay, excellent. That's outstanding. Now, what I'm going to do now is something that we haven't done yet in one of these little podcasts. I'm going to pop this down here a little bit, and we're going to switch things up just a bit. In that what I'm going to do here, I'm going to kill the screen share in just a moment, and if you guys will go to the if you guys will run over to Catherine put up a post publicly here a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to put the link to walk in here and have a chat with us indirectly. You can ask your questions or whatever, or make your arguments or do whatever you like. Well, within the bounds of the topic at hand, please. And I'll also post this link here in the main chat so that you all can have a look.
Hold on a second.
I just posted the link to that thread there, Catherine.
You posted there on my post?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. There's one in the chat. I have room for up to 10 people to come visit. You guys can click that link at any time. Come on in. I promise I won't bite you. Well, I won't bite you too hard.
Come over here.
Come on in.
Mellow.
Come on, clicky McLink. You guys can ask your questions directly. I will do my level best to make sure they get answered. Come on, let's go. Apparently, we don't have any takers yet. I mean, what else? What have we been talking about so far, Mello? Come on.
Mello is getting shy.
Apparently, Mello's getting shy. Apparently, Mello is being shy. No, you can add whatever you like as long as we can keep it something remotely resembling the topic. I put a link in the chat there a minute ago. Hey, how you doing? It's Alexander.
Yeah, what's up?
What can we do for you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
Great, man. Hey, so what's this thing with Dr. Mercola, Claire Robinson, on GMO truth and myth? What, are you debunking it, or are they debunking it, or are they
Well, they're
advocating it?
not debunking it. We're more or less here to mock it. Since we
Ah,
don't actually have since we don't actually have our expert to hand, he was supposed to turn up and has not yet.
what was that?
And we're supposed to be wrapping the stream up here in about 30 minutes, so it's time for a little Q&A portion.
Right, right.
Uh, we can answer your questions as best we can, but again, they're not providing any evidence for their claims. Their claims are GMOs bad. Period.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Well, have they explained actually technically what GMOing is actually? Because, you know.
No, they really haven't actually. They're just assuming that everybody knows what the hell they're on about.
And they probably haven't compared the GMO way compared to the old way of GMOing without the lab. Have never compared about that, right? No. No.
Well, they did try and make that comparison, only they managed to completely foul it sideways.
Mm,
This would have been
right.
better if I could have actually if the procedure I had for getting the audio to work actually worked.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, the expert, this Claire person, she mentioned that there was a study that animals were given a crop that half of the animals received GMOs and half received the same crop non-GMO,
Mm.
and they were
And they got tumors. Yeah.
yeah, they had liver and kidney failure,
But were those
and
rats?
the same thing is happening to the U.S. population, and that
Mm.
the GMOs are
Okay. Where are you
so
reading?
vastly used, then there is no control by the United States government, that there are no studies,
Mm.
and then she shoots her own feet, both of them, by making a claim that she cannot support because she herself says that there are no studies on the matter.
See, the thing
She,
is, she
she,
doesn't actually tell us.
she cites a widespread amount of GMOs being used, that there is no control, and that
Mm.
people are dying, and the government has no control over that because there are no studies.
Well, if there weren't GMOs, you wouldn't have corn, you wouldn't have soy, you wouldn't have your modern day wheat, you wouldn't have your bananas, you wouldn't have your whatever. I don't know. There's so many things we
Yes.
wouldn't have because of GMOs. And if you're talking about the study by the French scientist, whatever, he used the wrong type of rats. He used a knockout rat. They were very prone to getting tumors, and it had nothing to do with the GMO. It's
Well, the
ridiculous.
thing is, we don't know which study she used. She didn't cite it.
She
I
didn't
think
cite it.
I think it's the most famous one of the professor using the rats and see how big the rats became. They became the size of baseballs, and that's a flawed study because they weren't the proper type of rats. So yeah, that was debunked anyway.
We don't actually know what study she's talking about. I expect you're probably right
Yeah,
in this case, but we don't know because she didn't tell us, and she said nothing else about it in the
mm,
video.
yeah, and that's funny, and so-called people are dying and of GMOs, and there are no known cases. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
people are dying of GMOs, but I can't point to anything because there are no studies being done.
yeah, yeah. Well, but you know what a good example is of a GMO? For example, they have a potato and they took out a certain protein that allows it to brown when it's exposed to air. So now when you cut it, it doesn't brown away before you put it in water. That's the only thing that does. That's a GMO. They took out a protein. So what's the harm in that? You know?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. Yeah, it's
You
the
know,
fear mongering. You know,
it's a lot of fear mongering. But have a look at the imagery. You clicky right here. Here we go.
He
GMO
starts the
trial
video,
restricted area. Do not enter.
and he
Yeah,
starts the video with the guy with a hazmat suit
yeah,
and
yeah,
doing
yeah.
pesticides. Yeah,
Yeah. I think we have more to fear of the pesticides than the actual genetic modification.
yes.
See, the thing is, we don't know what he's spraying. We don't
Yeah.
even know if this we don't even know if this is an actual thing or if this is a lab
Seeding.
crop or
And
anything.
we don't know even if what he is spraying is genetically modified. It's a picture.
I would assume that it would be some sort of pesticide, but we don't know what
Yeah,
that pesticide is.
but we don't know whether the crop that is being sprayed is genetically modified.
Okay, because this picture is presented completely without context.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, the next picture he puts up.
and
Okay,
this one restricted area. Wow,
GM.
probably because
God damn it!
patent. Yes, there
There you
is a
go.
thing about crops having a patent. It costs money to develop a viable crop. Yes,
And it can
not
take up to 20 years to do this. Now,
yes, and not because they necessarily cause tumors, because some of them simply are not viable. They die.
okay, so moving on for just give me just a second here. Hey
Hmm.
Raven, how you doing?
Raven, do you have a mic?
I hope she's got a
Oh,
mic
don't.
because it would be kind of that would be not cool.
Mm. Well, maybe she just wants to be part of it and just listen.
It's
I
fine.
don't know.
Now, how about go look at this image here? Can anybody tell me what kind of a plant that is? What is that plant?
Cotton.
Cotton.
That's
Yeah, it's cotton.
absolutely correct. That is cotton. Okay. It says GMO trial restricted area. Do not enter. This
Mm.
might not be this there right now. That's this, and that's to keep people out, uh, in order to make sure that they have the largest amount of the crops they can use for testing. Okay, does the cotton plant grow? Does it produce more or less or whatever?
We don't eat cotton.
We don't eat cotton. At least,
Yes,
Well, I hope
okay.
not.
that's that.
But there's a lot of GMO cotton, and if we wouldn't have GMO cotton, we wouldn't have cotton, so you wouldn't have clothes on your back. Right.
Yep.
Um,
And then Socratic mirrors
And
brings.
there is that thing about the red rice that is enriched in terms of vitamins, and that
Hmm.
there is that huge campaign by Greenpeace that doesn't allow it to be produced for Africa. And
Hey there, Mello.
people, hello,
Hey,
Socratic mirrors.
Milo,
Hey guys.
and it could solve the epidemic famine in Africa, and people's all these non-governmental organizations do not allow that to happen.
Mm.
That's because they keep lobbying places.
They
Socratic
keep
mirror here
yeah.
brings up a valid point. GMO is way too imprecise as a concept, as far as trying to have an actual scientific discussion. How you doing, Mello?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
We've had better days, we've had worse days. This hangout's turned into a little bit of a circus, but that's nothing new.
No, not really.
We're getting used to it. It's all good. All right. So, what you got for me, Mello?
No, I just decided to join because I saw everyone else was joining, so I might as well join in on the bandwagon.
Yep, you're certainly welcome.
You're
Uh,
welcome, Mel.
let me
Thanks.
get let me repost the link here so Mr. Mirrors can join in too if he likes. There you go. We got it back up again for you. But yeah, as a concept, Socratic Mirrors is correct. It's a concept. GMO is far too large a term to be particularly useful. I mean, they're talking about food supplies, but what else? What else are we doing in GMOs? You know, cotton, obviously, from the image from his own damn video.
Yes,
That's
where
basically the
he
restrictions.
again shoots his own food because he's talking about food and he shows cotton.
Okay, but if you look, but watch this. Okay. Whoa.
That didn't really help.
No, not really. Have a look, okay? It's just a few seconds each time, and unless you're right on top of it to stop the video, you can't really tell from just a few seconds what those things actually are. I don't know what kind of plant that is. Somebody could probably tell me. Get a good botanist, they could probably tell me what that is. Corn, peas, red beans, Dr. Mercola's face.
No rubber ducky in sight.
Okay. Here is his little friend Claire Robinson. Let's see. Do we have any more images, or is it just?
I think, yeah,
No,
I think we just
Playing
watched the
tag.
whole thing.
from then on, it's just the two of them interacting. No more images.
Okay, but if you look at their opening images while he's during his initial monologue, it's all just scare tactics,
Mm-hmm.
playing the scare game, and really anybody that starts off with the scare tactics, he either A, doesn't have anything, or B, he has such a poor thing. Yes, Raven, we're still on GMOs. He has such a poor argument that he thinks he needs to scare people up front. I mean, I don't know anybody that really would care about GMO cotton.
I was saying before because I didn't really think he would be able to really add stuff into such an unnecessary topic to talk about.
Well, you know what, honestly, we're talking about it because people are spreading disinformation.
Yeah.
And this shit needs to be called out. Okay, but they're doing it with the veneer of, oh, I'm a doctor. I know. I use the word doctor in front
Authority.
of my name, so they're doing an appeal to their own personal authority.
It's also appealing to the unknowing people. You know, just ask randomly how many people out there actually know what GMO means, what it is, how it is done. People go like, oh no, they're bad, right? Because I heard it on TV and on the internet, right? Okay.
Yeah. What does GMO stand for? Genetically modified organism. I could have told you. I could tell you that. But I had someone a few days ago talking about a GMO car.
Oh.
A GMO car.
Oh, really? He claimed he had a GMO car, and I'm going, ah!
Did you ask? Do you have maybe an organic filter in somewhere, or do you mean with GMO like that, or like?
I thought I said, what? Did you mean General Motors organization? He said, no, it's genetically modified.
Okay.
Oh
And
my God.
the next question I had to ask the following question, because I was just I was honestly curious. He said, okay, where are your car's parents? He said, what? Well, for your car to be GMO, I'd have to have, for me to believe that your car is GMO, dude, I would have to see a picture of a couple of Trans Ams fucking like bunnies.
Yeah.
Okay, and he just kind of looked at me like I'd gone stupid. You know, he's talking about GMO plastics, and you know, I said the only thing that could possibly be that could possibly have ever been GMO as part of a GMO would be this leather in the seats, and you have fuzzy plush seats. There's no leather in your car. I went, huh?
And he's the one
No. Sales guy said it was genetically modified.
And he's the one calling you the idiot in the conversation.
And he's the one calling me an idiot.
Oh God.
I'd love to see who you hang out with in your real life.
This was just some guy I ran into at the fucking Safeway.
All right.
I don't even know who this guy is. He was telling this to anybody that would listen.
Yeah, the problem is people say these kind of things for anybody who would listen. Like Dr. Mercola on this video, he used his YouTube. Actually, he used the Hangouts feature, so he's probably on G+.
Well, he would have to. G Plus and YouTube are essentially the same thing.
Yeah, but he used the Hangouts feature to do that. I don't know.
Okay.
Thing.
So yeah, there is currently 1 million miles worth of ridiculous going on here. I don't think
More
any.
than that.
You know, do I have 1 million? Do I have 1 million miles worth of evidence? I don't. I can ask the questions, and usually the question, if the question is even remotely intelligent, I can arrive at a point where I might be able to find an answer. But I have to realize that I have my limitations. I cannot know everything.
Yeah, well, obviously everybody does have their own limitations in one way or the other.
Okay. I have not done the in-depth study into GMOs that some people have. Okay. But there are some people that have done, and I was hoping MMA artist 141 would show up so that we could ask him about these shit. Okay, who is it with the shaky thing?
It's not me.
Somebody's scrolling. That's a scroll wheel, but it's a freaking fast scroll wheel.
I'm not even touching my mouse.
I think it's lovely.
My hand's off my mouse.
Lovely, are you scrolling?
They could be a mechanical keyboard.
Not me.
Oh, because what the heck?
Is it Raven?
Bottle of pills or screws or something like that. Plastic, a plastic medication bottle.
A plastic rattlesnake.
Somebody's got it. So anyway, yeah, there's just wow. Some of the claims just absolutely out there, and unfortunately, we wind up having to talk about them because of people like this nice lady and Dr. Mercola that are using whatever claim of authority they have to push deliberate misinformation. Because I can't help but think that Dr. Mercola should know better about a lot of the things he peddles.
I'm not touching anything.
Somebody's doing that.
It's me.
Okay.
Hello, Raven.
Hello, Raven.
Hi, Raven.
I'm
Finally.
on my phone. That's why there's the finally.
Finally, we hear Raven's voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we will revisit this subject when we finally grab MMA, because he yesterday confirmed that he was showing up, but probably he didn't hear his alarm clock.
I find that actually fairly likely. I'm going to grab him by the, like I said earlier, I'm going to grab him by the hair later, drag him into Skype, and we're going to go over this video moment by moment. And we're going to give.
I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah.
Then we're going to upload it separately.
Yeah, he's from Australia, so heck, who knows what time it is over there?
You are in Australia, Alexander?
Yeah, MMA is from Australia.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
MMA is
it's
in
coming
Australia.
it's
MMA's
coming
in
9:15
Australia.
in the morning in
Yeah,
Australia.
We went almost 3 hours later than we were supposed to go. Otherwise, he would be more or less 4 a.m. so that he could sleep and wake up. But
Yeah.
probably he
He's probably
didn't
still
wake up.
sleepy. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Oh.
we're gonna drag him into Skype and we're gonna go over this video in some detail. I'm gonna do a capture of it by means of OBS and then upload that to my channel later on.
Just don't have as much trouble with OBS as I have.
Well, no, OBS and I actually get on for the most part. So
Alright, so the opposite of me in OBS.
but yeah, I can do. There's a number of things I can do with this, and as long as as long as the mic and the desktop audio are on, I should be okay. And if OBS doesn't feel like cooperating, then I'll go ahead and install XSplit because I know it will. Actually, I'm actually considering installing XSplit anyway to try and record these videos so that I can upload them in full.
Alright.
Thing's been accomplished. Go ahead and run the Hangout as usual, and then take it down and re-upload re-upload the footage for the new video we've been chewing up.
Right.
But that's something I'm going to test probably sometime this weekend.
Okay.
And that way we can actually get audio. We can actually get the audio in places where it actually freaking matters. Oh, Raven's battery is going bye-bye. That's no fun. Ugh. So, any questions, comments, evil bashings of this lady with that looks like with her mouth open like a codfish?
The only question that I still have is why does he have a picture of a seagull and a rubber ducky saying that it's their second anniversary on his Google?
Well, it could be a second anniversary on Google.
I don't know. I follow his collection for quite a long time because I think he posts interesting things about uh, validating the safety of GMOs and what's on the news about it. So I follow his collection.
See, the thing is that when he starts providing links, we can start looking for sources,
Yeah,
and
we were
that's all.
looking when we noticed how late Mr. MMA was, we started working on our part of saying intelligent things on his behalf.
So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So yeah, we know exactly how
Because
that's gonna work.
when we are debunking something, we look for either study the subject or invite an expert to our panel.
It would
And
still
we
be
will.
amazing to see where he gets all these sources from.
Actually, believe it or not, the thing is, Claire in her book actually cites Dr. Mercola.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, in her book, she cites Mercola.
I need to find this book. What's it called?
It's called GMO Truths and Myths. It's on Amazon for £8 and change, or $11.89.
Right.
I think
So basically, this video is Dr. Mercola interviewing Claire Robinson about her book, where she cites him as her evidence on the GMO truths and myths according to their perceived bias on GMOs.
And actually, this video is actually a third the size of the full interview. This is 22 minutes and 44 seconds. The full interview, these are the highlights. The full interview is almost an hour. It's in the up next thing there.
The 20 minutes is just the highlights.
That's
Yeah.
the highlights.
Is there a way we can find the full version of it?
Yeah, look to the right where it's under the word autoplay up there on the right. You see it?
Oh, right, yeah. Full interview, an hour long.
An hour long. Anyway, this stream here is approaching the hour and a half mark, and we probably should start wrapping it up. Any last thoughts, comments,
We
complaints?
have 5 minutes.
All I'm going to say is don't trust a man with a rubber ducky.
No, I just wait next time till MMA wakes up or something out of his coma.
Well,
he has a lot to say about this topic. He knows a lot about it. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's why he was invited here in the first place.
And
He has turned up
accepted.
for these. He has turned up for these streams in the past, and we were kind of hoping he would actually turn up this time, but we didn't manage to catch him this time. We will certainly do this. We will certainly catch him up the next time. The next time we go into GMOs.
Yeah, it was funny because he showed up for the flat Earth, that he's not exactly his specialty, but
We also got Red's Rhetoric for that one. That was fun.
yeah, we got rats also on that one.
You're talking Flat Earth Follies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
But-
next week I'm gonna find us a creationist to go beat up, which should be fun. And then probably, well, I was gonna do a creationist this week, and then I ran into some real crap called a piece of crap called Quantum Man, and I just had to go get him. I don't know why, because that was seriously baseball inducing. But yeah, give this video here a watch. Actually, if you have a downloader, probably you might want to do it that way, and not give them the extra view, because that would not be good either. Anything less than 30 seconds, and they don't get the increment for their view count. So
Yeah, it's better always to, when you are dealing with something that is a piece of crap, to download it and watch it instead of giving them revenue for that
right,
and number of views.
especially if you happen to be a YouTube Red member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, less than 3 minutes to go.
All right. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap this up here.
Okay.
Thank you all for dropping in. It is much appreciated to have a chat with some of the viewers directly. It's something we will probably do again in the future.
Yeah.
Especially if anybody's got some got some fun and interesting commentary.
I could probably just talk about that rubber ducky for an hour, I think. I'm going to have that on the mind through my 4 hours of sleep that I'm going to get.
All right. So, and then of course we have to kind of hype the stream a little bit here for later on tonight. Zaxter and I are going to do the games roundup at 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Or apparently about 4 in the morning for...
Raven is having problems with her mic too. She wanted to say goodbye or something, or say how much she appreciates it and loves us, but she cannot even communicate.
It's okay, Raven.
It's okay, Raven.
You're
Your
fine.
presence Your presence and you watching us is appreciated.
Very much so. Thanks everybody for watching. Stay safe and stay skeptical.
Yes, question everything or trust no one. Not
Well,
even us. Check everything.
yep. You are absolutely 100% encouraged to check everything we've posted, everything we've talked about, and if you think we're full of shit, please, by all means, the comment section is right there below. Go for it. And
It's
if you
also
need more
apparent.
evidence, we will be more than happy to see if we can't dig it up for you. If we can't get it for you immediately, we will find you someone that does.
Okay.
All right? You folks have a nice day now, and I will see you with Zexter here in a couple of hours.
Aye,